The cry reached the ears of the lioness, the cub's mother, who was resting not far from the scene. Her heart raced, instincts ignited like fire. With a thunderous roar, she charged through the undergrowth, her golden body cutting through bushes with unstoppable force. The python hesitated, startled by the approaching roar, but did not release its hold. The mother lion leapt with furious strength, her sharp claws slashing at the serpent's coils. The snake hissed and writhed, tightening its grip on the cub in defiance, but the lioness's jaws closed around its thick body. In a violent struggle, she bit and clawed until the python loosened its hold. The cub gasped for air as the lioness pulled it free, placing her trembling baby gently behind her. With one last surge of power, she struck again, forcing the snake to retreat into the underbrush. The forest calmed as the danger slithered away, leaving behind the echo of survival. The lioness licked her cub's fur tenderly, her eyes filled with both fury and relief, a reminder that even in the wild, the bond of a mother's love is stronger than the grip of any predator. The lioness gently nudged her cub, encouraging him to move closer toward the pride's resting place, but the cub staggered weakly. His breaths came shallow, still recovering from the suffocating grip. She lowered her head, licking his fur, her warm tongue calming his trembling body. In the animal kingdom, comfort came not from words but from touch, and this simple gesture gave the cub strength to keep moving. Yet the lioness's heart raced. She had felt the power of that python, its muscles like bands of iron. If it returned, the cub might not survive another attack. From the thick shadows nearby, glowing eyes watched. The python had not gone far. Its pride was wounded, but its hunger was stronger. A cub was a prize too valuable to abandon. It slithered slowly, circling, its tongue flicking out to taste the scent of the young lion. The mother sensed it. She turned sharply, her body tense, muscles rippling beneath her golden coat. Her roar cut through the air again, deeper and louder than before, a warning to all predators that she was ready to defend her young to the death. The cub whimpered softly, pressing against her side. In the distance, a few members of the pride stirred at the sound. A young male lion, the cub's older brother, approached with cautious curiosity. He could see the distress in his mother's stance, the way her tail lashed violently back and forth. Slowly, the pride gathered, 2 lionesses and a subadult male. Though the mother was the fiercest, the pride was her strength, and together they created a circle of protection around the cub. The python struck again. It launched forward from beneath a bush, its mouth wide, fangs glistening. But this time, it did not meet a helpless cub, it met the rage of a mother lion and the defense of her kin. The lioness lunged, her paw slamming the serpent to the ground, pinning its writhing body with claws that dug deep into its scales. The younger lioness leapt from the side, her teeth snapping, while the subadult male pounced to block its retreat. The forest erupted with snarls, roars, and hisses, the sound of a deadly battle that echoed for miles. The python fought fiercely, coiling its massive body around the leg of one lioness, trying to pull her down. She roared in pain, but the mother lion seized the serpent's head in her jaws, crushing down with bone-breaking force. The snake twisted violently, its tail lashing like a whip, but the pride's unity was unbreakable. Every strike was met with claws, every coil ripped apart by sharp fangs. Finally, after minutes that felt like hours, the serpent lay still. Its once mighty body was torn and bloodied, its strength drained. The lions stood panting, their sides heaving with exhaustion. The mother lion released her grip, her face smeared with blood but her eyes blazing with victory. The python slithered weakly away, its pride shattered, knowing it would never again challenge the lioness who had nearly killed it. The cub, who had hidden beneath the shade of a fallen log during the fight, emerged trembling. He gave a soft mewl, his eyes wide with both fear and admiration for his mother. She lowered herself, nuzzling him gently, her rough tongue brushing his face as if to erase the memory of danger. The pride members gathered around, and for the first time since the attack, the cub felt safe again. The forest gradually returned to calm. Birds chirped once more in the treetops, and the rustling of small animals resumed in the undergrowth. But for the lioness, the lesson was carved deep into her heart. She could never allow her cub to wander so far again. In the wild, even the smallest distraction could become a predator's opportunity. She guided her cub back toward the open savanna, where the pride's strength was more visible, and where ambushes were harder to conceal. That night, under a sky filled with glittering stars, the pride rested close together. The cub nestled between his mother's strong legs, his tiny body rising and falling with steady breaths at last. Every so often, he twitched in his sleep, reliving the terrifying moment when coils had stolen his air. Each time, his mother lowered her head to touch him softly with her nose, ensuring he knew she was there. Her presence was his shield, and her strength was his comfort. The story of the attack spread silently through the forest. Other creatures, from antelope to monkeys, had witnessed fragments of the battle. For them, it became a reminder of the wild's balance, how even the fiercest predators faced danger, and how survival depended on courage, unity, and instinct. To the cub, though, it became something more. It was the day he learned the true power of a mother's love, a force stronger than the jaws of serpents and louder than the roar of fear. Days later, as the cub grew stronger, he began to play again with his siblings. He pounced on insects, tumbled in the grass, and practiced his little roars, but he never strayed far from his mother. The image of the python, the crushing weight, the feeling of breathless helplessness, all of it lingered in his young memory. And whenever he looked at his mother, he remembered how her roar had shattered the silence, how her claws had ripped through danger, and how her embrace had brought him back to life. For the mother lion, the cub was not just one of many, he was her legacy, her heart carried forward. She had fought death itself to keep him alive, and she would do so again if the wild ever tested her strength. In the golden grasslands of Africa, under the watch of ancient trees and endless skies, the bond between them grew unshakable. The forest would always hold dangers, snakes, hyenas, rival predators, but none could break the will of a mother's love. The cub, once nearly swallowed by the coils of death, now thrived under her protection, destined to grow into a powerful lion who would one day remember the lesson of his youth, that survival was never just about strength, but about love, courage, and the unyielding fight to protect what mattered most. And so, the tale of the snake and the lion cub became more than just a clash of predator and prey. It became a story whispered by the rustling leaves, echoed by the stars, and carried in the heart of a little cub who learned that even in the harshest wilderness, the fiercest weapon was not claws or fangs, but the unbreakable bond between a mother and her child.